you really have to sit back and dig down hard on this, and I think you have to put yourself out in your constituents and telling them the trials and tribulations of what's starting out to be probably one of the most challenging sessions, for sure the most challenging session for myself, and I'm sure some of the more senior members in here will tell you the same. And we're going to be cutting and looking for dollars all over the place, and folks, I would hope that you would vote for this. And what it basically says is that anybody that has been adjudicated or convicted of a criminal sexual predator conduct under Section 609, which is the 609-3453, which is considered the Drushadeen law, when they actually put their time in are released, that they will not qualify. They will not qualify for the same care of those that in Minnesota that we should be taking care of. So I really sincerely ask your support on this amendment.
Senator Ingebritsen, I'm sure that your amendment is offered in the spirit of wanting to be not to be rewarding sex offenders and that type of public sentiment. And it's certainly very important to me. You mentioned Drushadeen. Drushadeen and her family actually come from north central Minnesota, from the Pequot Lakes area in my district. But whatever the intention behind your amendment, and I'm speaking on the fly here as an attorney, so I'm sure that we could get a better opinion if we had more time to think through all the constitutional ramifications of this. But it immediately strikes me as something that would be probably considered unconstitutional, because you are taking and the intent, just based on how you described it, would be to penalize people because of their bad behavior after they have finished and completed their criminal sentence. And if we were to do that, to single them out for a punishment-related type of avenue or policy, we would probably further push that envelope that I was talking about yesterday and put at risk the possibility that all of our sex offenders could be suddenly released, which would be a horrible thing to have happen for people who have finished their sentence and are being held and civilly committed. That would not be the result I'm sure that you're looking for. But then as a practical matter, I would also say this. As Senator Berglund has explained over and over, a very large majority of people who are on GAMC are suffering from mental health related issues. These are the people, once they get out of prison, that we want to make sure are getting their medications so that they don't do something that might have been prevented through their medication and access to health care. And so the idea that we're somehow going to punish them, well, I can certainly understand why you might want to do that and feel that way. As a practical matter, both for health reasons and for legal reasons, I think this would be a very bad idea.
Senator Olson, thank you for that. No, my intention is not to punish the perpetrator. Actually, my intent is to not punish the taxpaying public in the state of Minnesota for having to. Two reasons. For number one is for a crime to be perpetrated against the state of Minnesota, number one, and number two, for having them to have to actually pay extra when that person does their time. That's what it is. It's all about the public. It's not about the perpetrator. I don't think we're talking about a lot of folks here. We're not talking about big numbers. But the bottom line is that the public is the one that's being punished here, and that punishment continues to go on. And I just think it's unjust and unfair, and Madam Chair, I would ask for a roll call.
There will be a roll call. Is there any further discussion on this amendment? Senator Olson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think we are dealing with a relatively very small group of people, but they are a very dangerous group of people. And so for that reason, we cannot afford to create a situation that might make it more likely that they would be released without supervision, as I said before, or that they might go without medication that they need that might prevent them from being as dangerous as they would otherwise be.
Discussion on the amendment. Seeing none, the Secretary will take the roll on the A18 amendment. All members having voted, the Secretary will close the roll. There being 23 yeas and 42 nays, the amendment is not adopted.